And then he said, I wish to God I knew. That would give me clarity and some type of peace about it.
Yeah, I
Now,
love that.
the thing
Hmm.
about it is he acknowledges that he snatched the phone from her, right? Because there's this allegation that a text message came in from some other woman saying, I wish I was kissing you right now. She grabs the
Hmm.
phone. He tries to get it back. In the process of trying to get it back, she says he fractured or bent or broke her finger and scratched her behind the
Yeah, she
ear.
said that she twisted his arm back or
Yes.
something. Like he twisted her arm back and tried to like grab the phone back from her, and that's how she got the bruise on her finger and a scratch by her ear, allegedly.
Allegedly, right. And he takes no responsibility for that at all. Um, and again, I
I
found that.
find his
Uh-huh.
answer to be very interesting because his answer was just like, I'm an athlete. I know my body. I know my strength. I know my capabilities. There's no way. Because I would not be capable of doing that because I'm capable of much more. Like that's basically what it came off like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm capable of doing much worse. So that I wouldn't do that. I know my strength, and it's just like, all right. But if you do know your strength, you probably do know how to do things with ease. Like if you would have beat her black and blue, that's one thing, but like it's a passive aggressive type of a thing. Like it's a twist of the arm, it's the pushing her in the car. And not to say that she was right, and not even to say that I'm against him per se when it comes to this situation, because in the heat of domestic disputes, like you're trying to protect yourself. So you're just like, get away from me, like trying to put you where you need to be so that you're safe so I can go my way. But it just doesn't look like that in the eyes of the law. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, yeah. So listen, I brought about I identified about 4 clips I want us to listen to. Andy, can you go ahead and play the first one, please?
Scott King and Michelle Obama.
I'm a great man. A great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in. The woman that supports me needs to be a great woman.
There are some who question, especially in the black.
We could cut that one. Okay, so Dijah, this has been circulating, right? He had shared, it was shared that he had said to Grace that he wanted her to be a certain Coretta Scott King, Michelle Obama type of chick, right? And this is a clip of him actually talking about who he is and why he needs her to be who he wants her to be. And the interviewer asked him, what did he mean by the clip, right? And he said that he was just drawing an analogy about what it is he is aspiring to be. The thing I find interesting about this, who he's aspiring to be, is because none of us are perfect. Let me just say that right off the cuff. None of us are perfect. However, if in fact you are aspiring to be this person, how is it that you for 2 years find yourself stuck in a relationship that you said was toxic and abusive?
Because we all see ourselves. We have delusions of grandeur. And when you're on the scale in which he was, and you have other people probably validating those delusions of grandeur, it's very easy to get lost in, the rigmarole of you're Jonathan Majors, you're the best person in the world, blah, blah, blah. So you feel like I'm on this caliber, I'm an upper echelon type of a black man. So this is the type of black woman, or this is the type of woman that I need to be around, that I need to have like in my corner. But it just doesn't make sense. It's just an illogical thought process.
Well, the
Like,
other
how do
reason,
you need a Coretta? You don't know Coretta. You don't know Michelle. So what are you really saying? Like the thought of these women, the way that you have made them up or propped them up in your mind. Like, who are you? We don't know if Michelle was in there slapping Barack up every other day in that White House. We don't know nothing about these people. So what are you talking about?
but I think
And these are also wives.
100%. That's an excellent point to point to make. Here's the other thing, Dijah. I think it's interesting that he is requesting, suggesting that a white woman take on the image of a black woman. So when you use the word delusional, I think that is absolutely delusional. I also think that right before that clip, he asks him, does he have anger issues, right? The interviewer asks him, does he have temper tantrums? And he said he doesn't have anger issues, but he does admit that he did in fact knock a candle off the table onto the floor during a previous argument, because the prosecutors brought that up as a track record of his temper. And so he acknowledged that, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, both things can be true at the same time. But brother, come on, help us help you. Help us try to see this through your eyes, because this is not making sense. What do you think about that?
Well, if knocking a candle over on the floor shows signs of anger issues, then I might need to go talk to the people right now. Might need to see some anger management, because that. First of all, there's a difference. To knock a candle on the floor, you obviously want to burn the whole house down.
Hold that thought. That is true, too. Hold that thought. When we come forward after news and traffic, we will continue unpacking the Jonathan Majors interview that took place on ABC's Good Morning America. This is Mischa Duffie sitting in for Robin Ayers on the Rob Report. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger hanging out right here with my family at the Rob Report. Keep it live.
More of the Rob Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A black Democratic congressman says it's fitting to tie in former President Trump with a racially motivated shooting, even if it happened before Trump was president. Speaking on CNN's State of the Union, James Clyburn of South Carolina was referring to President Biden's upcoming visit on Monday to the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston. That's where 9 worshipers at a Bible study were shot and killed by an admitted white supremacist in June 2015, more than a year before Trump was elected. He referenced Trump's good people on both sides remark following the 2017 march in Charlottesville, Virginia, by neo-Nazis and members of the Ku Klux Klan. At least 11 people have been injured in a gas explosion at a downtown hotel in Fort Worth, Texas. The Fort Worth Fire Department responded to the Sandman Signature Fort Worth Hotel following the explosion, which blew a large hole in the lower part of the building. Reports say at least one of the injuries is critical, with 2 serious. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Watch for heavy delays coming from Carson as the left lane is currently blocked with an accident on the 110 south at the 405 San Diego Freeway interchange. Right now, heavy traffic flow is coming from Highway 91. All lanes are reopened from an earlier crash in Baldwin Park on the 605 south before Ramona Avenue, with a slight heavy delay over 25 minutes from the 210. Hollywood traffic is up to 35 minutes on the 101 south between Hollywood Boulevard and now Mission Road. And over in Anaheim, expect a 35-minute traffic jam for the evening on the 91 east between the 5 Santa Ana Freeway interchange and Gibson Canyon Road.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers are back in action tonight. They play Phoenix at Crypto.com, 7:30 tip-off. The Lakers are off today. They're at home Tuesday night against Toronto. Tiger Woods is leaving Nike after a 27-year connection. When Tiger was 21, he signed his first endorsement deal with Nike in 1997, a deal that paid him $20 million a year. He signed a 10-year contract with Nike in 2013 worth $200 million. That deal expired at the end of 2023. 2 NFL head coaches were fired Monday morning, Ron Rivera in Washington and Arthur Smith in Atlanta. Another chance for the NFL to improve its diversity issues. Only 3 of the NFL's 32 teams have a black head coach. By the way, all 3 have their team in the playoffs right now. Mike Tomlin with Pittsburgh, Todd Bowles of Tampa Bay, and D'Amico Ryan with Houston. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
I have a dream. On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal and Dow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is King.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Happy holidays from the Los Angeles County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. DCBA is spreading the warmth this season with the Los Angeles County Rent Relief Program. Visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. This program is available to landlords with unpaid rent expenses in Los Angeles County, excluding the city of LA. If you are a landlord with unpaid rent, you could be eligible for a grant of up to $30,000 per unit. Tenants with unpaid rent are also welcome to refer their landlords to apply for this program. To learn more about the program or to apply, visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. This program is administered by the County of Los Angeles through its Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. Visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. www.lacountyrentrelief.com.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look, and unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at the gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tonight, I am grateful for your presence. Grateful that you are hanging in there with us for another wonderful conversation right here on the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. I am Mischa Duffie. My guest contributor tonight is Daisha, and I'm grateful for her presence. We are unpacking the Jonathan Majors interview that took place this morning on ABC's Good Morning America. And before the break, we were talking about him being shocked and afraid by the verdict. We were talking about him saying that he has no idea how she sustained any of the injuries that she has. We were talking about him saying that he does not have a temper. And I want to play, Daisha, this other clip. The interviewer asks him, do you feel you are responsible for her injuries at all? Andy, you ready? This is what he says.
Do you feel you're not responsible for her injuries at all?
I shouldn't have been in the car. I shouldn't have stepped out of the relationship. I shouldn't have been in the relationship. If I'm not in the car, none of this is happening. If I leave the relationship.
Make sense of that, Daisha. Because I thought it was a peculiar answer.
I think it's a way to try to take accountability, so he's not trying to like put all of the onus on her, because in a situation like this, you have to be accountable for some parts of something. It can't just be she's the problem, she's the problem, she's the problem. So I feel like for him, it made more sense for him to take all of the responsibility and say, I am at fault for all of this because I should have never been there.
Now, see, I didn't take him taking responsibility for all of it at all, because earlier he says he doesn't know how the injuries happen. I just thought it was interesting that he resorts to, if I'm not in the car, if I'm not in the relationship, if I had left, none of this happens. I'm not talking to you. I thought that was really, really interesting. The way he framed that. But what else I thought was interesting, Daja, is the interviewer asked him 3 different times, 3 different ways, if he was responsible for his former girlfriend's injuries. What are your thoughts about that? Because I could not understand why she kept asking him. Like she was going to get a different answer.
Because that's the whole point, right? To try to catch somebody, and then you have that as your viral moment. As he said, maybe I shouldn't have twisted her arm. Like, it's just a journalistic tactic, and it's tired because only somebody that is weak-minded and that's not fully prepared for that type of a line of questioning will fall for that. I wouldn't expect him to fall for that. I feel like he wants to make himself the martyr of the situation. I fell on the sword. I have this beautiful black woman. She's the only person that stuck beside me. Like, he's just trying to like paint it in everything in a completely different way. But I think it's also like it shows his manipulation and his manipulation of words to be able to say, instead of just giving a blanket answer, yes or no, because that's also kind of incriminating if you're trying to appeal. So you're like, oh, so you said you're not responsible for any of her injuries, so where did they come from? So he's being very calculated with his response and trying to take responsibility at the same time, so he doesn't look like he's pointing the finger and not taking any onus.
And y'all bear with me, because I just have this one more clip I need to play as it relates to this question. Because Daja, I promise you, I just cannot believe that she asked him this question 3 times and he answered 3 different ways. Here's his third response to him being asked about her injuries.
Physical
you ready,
injury
Andy?
and aggravated assault. They're saying you didn't intend to injure her, but the result of your recklessness injured her.
Right.
Were you reckless?
I was reckless with her heart.
Not with her body.
Not with her body.
The physical altercation started inside an SUV.
I was reckless with her heart, but not with her body. And I will say this. Whoever prepared him for the interview, Daja, did a great job, to that extent that even though she asked him 3 different times in 3 different ways, he came back with 3 different answers, and none of them were, I did it, I hurt her, I injured her, I'm responsible for her injuries. What do you make of I injured her heart, but not her body? Daja, you there?
Like, yes.
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh. Now I can.
Yeah, it's a play on words. He's like, yeah, I was reckless with her heart, so that's the reason why all of this happened, because I was playing games with her heart, that I didn't do anything to her physically. Like, it's so funny to actually see. Like, I have to watch the episode now, because I read the whole transcript, so I already knew what he said. But now I kind of need to see it.
Because you got to see, like, Daja, you got to see the body language. Yeah, you got to see the body language as well, because I'm very interested to hear how that's going to be dissected.
But I feel like he's answering these questions as if it was prepared for a cross-examination, but it's not as harsh as a lawyer, so he knows that he can kind of get away with things. Because he didn't testify for himself, so now you want to come out and you want to talk to a reporter is not going to be as hard on you as a prosecutor. So you are prepared legally to answer these questions and to the best of your ability, that you can still save face, and it still leaves the air of doubt in the court of public opinion. But you wouldn't answer this like this if you were on stand.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't fly.
Oh no, because those prosecutors would rip all into that, right? They would dig into him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's smart. Listen, shout out to whoever it is, his PR agent, because they said we are not going down without a fight.
Right,
and
exactly.
Myself, personally, I'm upset that King the Conqueror is gone because I've been really invested into this King the Conqueror story. So I was really mad.
Oh, wow.
So they better figure it out and go apologize to Disney or something because I need my movie.
I
don't really care about none of this no more.
I love it. And you know what's so interesting? On Friday, we were talking about that. We were talking about how Disney fired him. Disney owns ABC, and he elected to give his first interview to ABC. And I was asking my correspondent, on Friday, what did she think that was about? And, some of what came up was I felt like he was trying to not burn the bridge, like you were saying. And in the event there's another opportunity for him to work with Disney, I don't want to burn the bridge so that if there's an opportunity, I can't take advantage of it. Andy, you were going to chime in? Okay. So I thought that was part of what happened with that. What are your thoughts about that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I agree. I didn't think about it on that level, but now that you say it, I definitely agree. And I hope that they forgive him because, again, I want my movie. I don't really care about none of these people and none of this nonsense. I have already decided that everybody is a criminal. Everybody is crazy. And I'm over it. I can't listen to music anymore. I can't watch movies anymore because all these men are crazy. Wow. So I don't have time. Everybody's nuts, but give me my content. The end.
The end. When we come forward, it cannot be the end of our conversation, though, because you're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on the Rob Report.
You're inside the Rob Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
There's only a few days left for open enrollment, starting at $0 a month. LA Care Covered offers the benefits you need to achieve your health goals. $0 preventive services, 24/7 virtual care and nurse advice lines, walk-in minute clinics, free fitness and nutrition classes, and more. Become a member of LA's most affordable health plan. Get a free instant quote at lacarecovered.org. Have open enrollment questions? Connect with us today at 855-222-4239. Find your affordable path to wellness with LA Care Covered today.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
Hey LA, save water and put money in your pocket with rebates from LADWP. Start saving with free shower heads and faucet aerators. Then save with every flush when you upgrade to a water efficient toilet and get a $250 rebate. You can also save on every load of laundry with a high efficiency clothes washer and get a $500 rebate. That's right, LADWP customers can get $500 rebates on qualifying clothes washers. See all the ways to save at ladwp.com/save.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Single Moms Planet is a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting under-resourced single mom business owners and working mothers nationwide. Single Moms Planet offers comprehensive programs of financial literacy, business development, mentorship, and entrepreneurial training. They provide education, accountability, and hope. Single Moms Planet was founded by model, TV personality, and producer Nefertari Plessy. Nefertari felt firsthand the challenges that face single moms as she was raised by a working single mother. She learned that the most disadvantaged group in the United States are single mom families. According to the U.S. Census, 30% live under the poverty line. So she decided to do something about it, along with co-founder Cole Patterson. Their goal is to end the poverty cycle in single mother households through education, opportunity, and networking, providing family and child enrichment programs for under-resourced single parent families.
Single Moms Planet serves over 10,000 single moms and their children each year. Studies show that business development and financial literacy provide a positive environment for children and families, exposing them to new possibilities and opportunities. To attend one of their fun events, make a donation, or get more information, or if you need help as a single mom, please visit singlemomsplanet.org. That's singlemomsplanet.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Rob Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. 1580.
Indeed, you are inside the Rob Report. This is Mischa Duffie, and I'm happy you're here with me. I miss out on YouTube chat tonight, but I also have one of the folk from the chat on the phone. Miss Fahima, how are you?
Greetings, Mischa, and greetings to your contributor. Just very briefly, in the interest of time, one, and I'm a clinician, so I think I can fairly say this was a dysfunctional relationship. Both of them obviously has experienced trauma. Secondly, it's very possible that his new girlfriend might have been the one that was texting him in the car. Thirdly, I should have said this from the top. I don't think he's going to jail because he's a first-time offender. And you have a situation, and not to say that the prosecutor's not going to ask for him going to jail, but the maximum time would be jail. But these are misdemeanors, and he's never been in trouble as far as I know before, so he probably will get probation. And, the last thing, I think, if you remember that during the trial, the text messages when she wanted to go to the hospital and he was trying to telling her not to go. She was saying she was in pain. So, yeah, he probably is responsible for her injuries, and he wasn't going to deny it because the text messages were part of the evidence. And so I'll leave it there.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Fahima, are you still with me? She's gone. Okay. I will say this. I am a clinician as well. I agree with Fahima vehemently that they both have some issues. And he also brings that to bear because in the second part of the interview, Daija, he talks about in his childhood trauma. He talks about in his childhood wanting to commit suicide. He talks about in his childhood of just some experiences that he had that weren't so, good in terms of his upbringing. So indeed, he does have some trauma, but I think it's just I'm always just torn, right, between how we have these dual personalities, right? So he's this amazing megastar in one part of his life. And then behind the scenes, he's living in this relationship that he claims to be scared and terrified in, right? And I'm just trying to figure out, you are the same sense of agency that he has over his career is what I'm trying to say. I wonder why he was not able to muster up that same sense of agency in his personal life. And I also wonder, is it the case that his fear was more about this is a white woman and I'm afraid to lose her, or this is a white woman and I'm afraid of what she could say about me, than it was about I need to get out of this relationship because it's unhealthy? What are your thoughts?
I think it might be the latter. But I think it also is important to note that he's an actor, which means, to me, actors are the second biggest liars next to lawyers.
Oh, my.
They can literally tap in and tap out of emotions and moments. And, your whole point is to, get empathy and make somebody feel you and understand your character. So it's very hard for us as spectators on the outside looking in to even understand the true character of someone that is an actor, especially somebody that is as brilliant of an actor as he is. If you even look at the roles that he's played, he's never played the same archetype of a person twice. His range is crazy. I don't know who you are in real life. I don't know if if this is your story, if this toxicity is something that you didn't feed off of, that you didn't like, but also knowing how to manipulate your words to make it seem like you're a victim if you weren't and you were the aggressor. We don't know these people. So it's very hard to like really try to hone in on one or the other. But for me, it's definitely the latter. Like, he's like, I'm going to sit here and play games. You play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This white woman can really lose, like really mess everything up for me. So maybe I shouldn't leave because I wasn't the picture of perfection in this relationship, because then she can defame me. You know, she can talk about my character and then that can affect me. So maybe I'm better off staying. That could be a thought process.
You know, okay, so you have said so much, ma'am, that I just am like, I need to unpack that, because this notion that, girl, this notion that actors are liars, right? I see them as creatives, but I certainly take your point that they step in and out of these characters. They're able to turn it on and off. And I know my actor people who are listening right now are like, how dare she, right? But at the same time, there's something to be said about you saying, we don't know who he is. The real question is, does he know who he is? Right? And
a lot of people don't know who they are. And even if he doesn't, he is not alone. There are 40 or 50-year-olds walking around trying to figure out who they are, using slang like 20-year-olds and wearing pink wigs and all types of foolishness. So listen, everybody's going through identity crises. So we don't know, but it will be easier for us to make a decision if we had a point of reference. Yeah. Because for the most part, most of us are just now getting to know this person because he's just getting hot in the last 5 years.
Okay, hold that thought.
Who is he?
Okay, hold that thought. Andy, can we play our last clip before we get out of here tonight? No? Yes? Okay. We have just one more clip that I want to play, Daija, around the description of Majors and Grace Jabari's relationship. Again, very, very interesting. Let's see. Yes, no. Maybe we can't play it, but here's what I want to say. Wow, he talked about being afraid. That's what this clip is about. He talked about being afraid to leave this young lady. The interviewer, referenced the prosecutors shared a text message about him texting her saying that he wanted to commit suicide, right? This is, we got it? Oh, here we go.
Instead of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania. The prosecution has described your relationship with Grace Jabari as tumultuous and abusive. How would you describe that 2-year relationship?
I loved Grace. Our relationship was not healthy, and that began to reveal itself over time.
Why'd you stay?
I was scared. With the red flags, I found that, and I use this word, I said, this is dangerous. This is months before the incident. I should have been brave. I should have said, no, this isn't working, and I should have walked away. And I didn't.
Troubling signs in the relationship.
Andy, talk to me about that. You a black man. Andy said, I can't do it. Andy said, I can't do it. I would love to hear a black man's perspective about that, right? I don't know. Daija, I'm listening. Go ahead. You tell me your thoughts, because I have some, but tell me your thoughts about that clip.
I feel like his story, if it is true, because I'm taking everything with a grain of salt. If it is true, his story is very reminiscent to a lot of other men, period, that are in toxic relationships that know that they should leave them. But a lot of men being loyal versus being in love. So it's like, I need to be loyal to this person. This person was there for me from the beginning. They grinded with me. They helped me get to where I am. So even though I'm not happy anymore, even though this is not a safe space, even though I'm cheating, I'm still going to stay with this person.
Right, because
this
there's
is the person
that.
that's stuck beside me.
Right, there's that. He was allegedly messing with someone else. Thus the text message, right? So
exactly.
how is it that you are? Yeah, you're afraid to leave this relationship, but you're not afraid to cheat on the person? That doesn't make sense to me.
It don't make sense because you're talking about illogical people.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here and mail bash
You sound
today,
like my therapist. No,
but-
I'm not trying to mail bash him either, but you sound like my therapist. Whenever we start to try to make logical sense of illogical behavior, then we drive ourselves crazy. Before I lose you in the last minute, the last thing I wanted to point out was Megan Good was there with him for the interview. The interviewer asked him about Megan Good. He said that she's been an angel. He said she's Coretta Scott King. I'm wondering, what do you make?
Shut up.
What do you make of his constant referencing to Coretta Scott King? What do you think about that?
I think he's insane. He's stuck in a time warp. That's why he dressed like he in the 1950s. He thinks that he in the 1950s and the 60s, and now all of a sudden you on a civil rights track when you was messing with this white woman. Like, sir, please, not too much. I can't take that seriously. This whole Coretta Scott, be Michelle, be Coretta. Man, be Barack. Be Barack. Be Barack first before you tell somebody to be Michelle. Because right now you got everybody out here looking stupid in the light, and Barack would never. How about that?
I like that, and I think that's a beautiful way to end this conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us tonight. I appreciate you so much. My contributor tonight is Deja Bell. And again, thank you for your time tonight. Listen, enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. Good night.
All right. Good night. Listen, family, I appreciate you. KBLA delegation, you are always amazing. You always show up strong. Fahima, thank you so much for calling in and for sharing your thoughts and perspective about this topic. Tomorrow, we will be moving on to a brand new topic. No more Jonathan Majors for us. Up next is The Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Until tomorrow, stay grateful, stay kind, stay safe, and stay inspired.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. For the first time ever, the Waynesville St. Robert Regional